this motherfucker gets straight to palming her shit like Shaq, bro. Again. And I'm not sure how, but in that time, Jill was running through the tunnels. This motherfucker obtained a flamethrower. So not only is this motherfucker the same height as Bobo, overly freaked out, but he also knows how to use weapons. Alright, I know y'all seen the title. We need to talk about Jill Valentine, alright? Because she is either a vet in the zombie apocalypse field, or she's... Nah, but for real, Jill has survived some insane shit, alright? We have some serious evidence to review today, so we're just gonna get right into it. Hey girl, how you doing? You ready to leave yet?
Duh, I'm waiting outside right now.
Okay, let me grab my coat. Who let this buff brolic ass out of Smash Bros? As y'all can see, Jill immediately got active in this bitch. Not only did this motherfucker bust through her wall like a personified bulldozer on steroids, but this freak ass gets straight to gripping her throat. I'm not even sure how Jill survived this shit. This right here is the first of many reasons why Jill is a founder of this Hall of Fame. Like, I'm pretty sure if any one of you watching this were to encounter Nemesis, y'all are smooth getting your shit snapped like a twig. Anyway, Jill is scrambling to get the fuck out of there. So Jill is quick to get outside and running down the stairs to get to the next floor. And I don't know if this motherfucker think he Wolverine or something, but he senses Jill and busts through the damn ceiling. Now, at this point, you really gotta question, is this plot armor? Cause how was Jill conveniently just a few feet away from where he jumped down? Then, while Jill trying to climb through the debris, Nemesis tries to snatch her up with some tentacle shit that he just randomly unlocked. And Jill, she immediately cuts that shit off and gets to stepping again. I swear, she cannot catch a break because for no reason, the building just fucking explodes. Somehow she survives that shit and makes it down another floor. Bro, oh my gosh. This motherfucking Nemesis punches through the wall and palms her head like a damn basketball and tosses her ass right back into that burning building and punches right next to her head to drop her down another floor. Bro, at this point, Nemesis is just playing with her. Then he casually rips out a chunk of the wall and starts chasing her. Nigga, he had absolutely no reason to do this. And Jill is just running with zero sense of urgency. But hey, somehow she makes it out of that motherfucker at the last second before the whole building starts coming down and blocks off Nemesis. Y'all, might I just add, this is just the start of the game. How did Jill survive any of this? We are just at the start. Like, she is truly on a different level when it comes to this surviving. Either that or she just isn't human. But anyway, Jill is running through the city trying to get to the rooftop of this building that's supposed to have a helicopter waiting for her that's supposed to take her out of the city. So she's running through the city and she makes it to the building, seemingly with a very convenient, non-destroyed working elevator that will take her to the rooftop of the building. So Jill makes it to the rooftop, the helicopter is waiting for her, and this evil ass Hulk variant appears again and blows up the helicopter, bro. So Jill commandeers a dead guy's car and tries to run this dude over. But Nemesis wasn't having that and punches through the window to try and strangle her ass again. Also, quick side note, what is with this motherfucker and grabbing Jill's throat? Capcom, I'm looking at you. Anyway, they fucking drive off this 6-story building and somehow they both survive. Like, bro, I can understand an argument for Nemesis surviving, but how the fuck did Jill survive? And not only did she survive, but she walks off looking like she tripped rather than driving off a 6-story building. Then the car just explodes. This dude Nemesis just starts using the explosion to max out his aura farm rep. Then somehow the situation manages to escalate further when our boy Carlos pulls up with a fucking bazooka and gets straight to blasting his shit like one of those SpongeBob episodes where they just start exploding for no reason. And finally, Nemesis goes down. Man, I should have just made a video about Nemesis. Anyway, that concludes the first part of this game. I know. How was all of that the first part of the game? I'm gonna be honest, I couldn't tell you. Capcom was out of their mind when they made this game. Now, let's go right ahead and review this next exhibit of survivability. So Jill has to get these trains running again to help people get out of the city. So she has to go to some kind of train control room and get that fixed. And of course, right when she gets back to the train station, this dude Nemesis just appears. I'm not even sure why or how this nigga always knows where she at, but he does. So of course, he starts chasing her, and Jill leads him away from the group that she's working with and makes it into these underground tunnels. In the next cutscene, Jill is climbing up her ladder to make it out the tunnel. And I'm sure you guys will never guess who appeared. Yeah. But anyway, this motherfucker gets straight to palming her shit like Shaq, bro. Again. And I'm not sure how, but in that time, Jill was running through the tunnels. This motherfucker obtained a flamethrower. So not only is this motherfucker the same height as Bobo, overly freaked out, but he also knows how to use the weapon. So Jill is now in an encounter with this man in another building. Now, I want you guys to keep in mind that she's going to go to the top floor. All right. So she makes it to the top floor and she's fighting Nemesis in a 1v1. And somehow she wins and burns that nigga alive. And then the building proceeds to blow up in the process. Now, obviously, she can't go back down the stairs. So what does she do? She leaps off the top floor of the building with no plan in mind. Just like the last building. And somehow, just like the last building, she survives. So let me get this straight. She jumps off the top floor of not one, but 2 buildings and survives. Bitch, are you Superman? I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I'm getting pissed off making this video because I'm starting to be convinced that this bitch can't be human. By the end of this video, I'm gonna need to be convinced that she is human. Anyway, that's gonna conclude our second exhibit of Jill's survivability. Now, before I get to this next exhibit, I just want to mention really quickly that Jill has a quick encounter with Nemesis again. And this time, he somehow managed to obtain a rocket launcher. So yeah, I'm gonna just leave that with y'all. Alright, on to our next exhibit. So the game as you play as Carlos, who I mentioned before, but I'm going to skip that part because this video is about Jill. So after Carlos's part, you cut back to Jill, who is the only survivor, well, her and one other fucker, of a train explosion due to our heavy weaponry loving friend. So she makes her way out of the train tunnel and tries to regain contact with Carlos because they split up earlier. As Jill is trying to radio him, Nemesis comes out of that same tunnel burning alive and jumps into the river. Jill makes a very rookie mistake of writing him off and just assuming he can't swim, and continues to try and contact Carlos. And while speaking to Carlos, this motherfucking Nemesis comes flying out the sea like fucking Aquaman. So now Jill is in her second fight with this dude, and I'm not gonna lie, y'all, she is cooking him. She picked up this grenade launcher somewhere along the way and put that motherfucker to work, man. So after her fight with this dude, she tries to get back in contact with Carlos and once again drops her guard, even though she has seen this motherfucker come back from worse than a couple grenade explosions. And as soon as her guard is down, he gets right back up and tries to grab her with them nasty ass tentacles. Luckily, Jill's a quick thinker, so she rancors the fuck out of Nemesis and evades getting her ass snatched up. But right before she's fully out of reach, Nemesis throws a claw at her and infects her, and then they both pass out. But luckily, Carlos does find her eventually passed out and brings her somewhere safe so he can make a cure for her, and that's a whole part of the game that I'm just going to skip so we can continue talking about Jill. Alright, y'all, we have one final piece of evidence to review. But before we get into that, if y'all are enjoying, like this video up so I don't cry myself to sleep tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, to review this final piece of evidence, I need to give y'all some background. Throughout this game, Jill has consistently been getting hoed by this dude named Nikolai, who just wanted to run up a bag. I'm not gonna lie, that was really his whole goal, which I can't say I'm mad at, but either way, this dude been hoeing, and it's gonna be important in a moment. So Jill, she has to make a vaccine to the virus because the previous one was already used on her like I mentioned before when she got infected. And as usual, after making this vaccine, she gets chased down by Nemesis, of course. Then she runs into some kind of generator power room. I'm not really sure what it was, but it basically had a bunch of like electrical things, and then there was a pit in the middle. So yeah, she walks into that room, and of course Nemesis fat ass chases her right into the room and destroys the entire walkway trying to grab her. Jill, somehow she gets lucky and manages to hang on to the railing. And from fucking nowhere, this Nikolai dude just appears, bro. I don't know if he can teleport or what, but this Russian motherfucker, he just appears in the perfect time to kick her off the railing and take the vaccine. Y'all, I don't know if Jill has the best or worst luck known to mankind, bro. On one hand, she survived an apocalypse, getting infected, being chased down by fucking Solomon Grundy on roids, falling off the roof of 2 buildings, not 1, and several other things. And yet, on the other hand, she stays getting hold. So, I mean, I really don't know. But anyway, she loses the vaccine and falls into this pit to fight Nemesis for the 3rd time in a row now. And with the help of Carlos, she takes him down again. This nigga really needs to get his get back. Like, Nemesis, you are 0-3 against a human being. Anyway, this bum Nemesis gets packed up, and Jill chases down Nikolai to get the vaccine back. And right when she catches up to him, this motherfucking Nemesis pulls up for a 4th time, looking mutated as fuck. I mean, nigga, look at that shit. What the fuck is that? Look like he got hit with the ooze from Ninja Turtles. Just a big pile of mush and shit. But I already know Jill is dialed, alright? And she obliterates the fuck out of this nigga. Like no cap. She obliterates him. Like, seriously, she takes a fat laser cannon, puts it to his head, and blows that shit off. Then, her and Carlos finally catch this Russian motherfucker and take his helicopter and leave him for dead. And I also forgot to mention that the whole city was gonna get nuked. So, yeah, he gets nuked, and so does everybody else. And that concludes why Jill belongs in this Hall of Fame of zombie apocalypse survivors. Look, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I want to make it a little bit longer. It's basically the length of 2 videos, I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed. Make sure to like this video up. And go ahead and subscribe while you at it. I love you guys, and I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace.